Hello to all my friends gathered at Cargill today. I think you know I would much rather be there with you in person, but as you know, there are things going on around the state and just a few things in Washington, so I'm honored to join you via video. I want to begin by thanking everyone with the Autism Society of Minnesota for organizing this important forum on improving employment opportunities for people with autism spectrum disorders, and for your continued hard work and dedication to supporting patients and families living with autism. I also want to thank Cargill, one of our top Minnesota businesses, for co-hosting this event and for your leadership in improving employment opportunities for people with disabilities. Through programs like Engranados, Cargill is providing opportunities for people with intellectual, physical, and sensory disabilities, giving them a space to develop skills to prepare them for the future. And I know you're also joined by my friends, Department of Health and Human Services Commissioner Cindy Jessen. By the way, you may not know this, but Cindy was my deputy before she had this great job when I was Hennepin County Attorney. And you're also joined, I know, by Department of Employment and Economic Development Commissioner Katie Clark-Sieben, who's doing a great job as well. I want to say a special hello to both of them and thank them for their hard work and support for autism. 2 decades ago, autism and other neurodevelopment disorders were little known, uncommon diseases. Today, autism is the fastest growing developmental disorder in Minnesota. 1 in every 50 kids now has autism, and the prevalence of these disorders has increased by 10 to 15% in recent years. But you're not there today because of those statistics. You're there because of real people, and you're there because you're determined to make a difference. You know that people with autism have much to offer employers, and that as these people age, we need to do all we can to be prepared and value their talents in the workforce. Businesses like Cargill recognize that people with autism are incredibly focused, highly loyal, innovative, and creative. This knowledge can make a difference, and that's what you're doing today. You're working to ensure that more and more employers know that those with autism enhance the workforce. In Washington, I'm focused on initiatives that will help us better understand autism, advance the treatments and therapies available to people with autism, and improve their lives and the lives of their families. That's why I strongly support new research programs like the Mapping the Brain initiative that the President announced at a State of the Union address. Earlier this year, I visited the labs at the University of Minnesota, where incredible work is being done to map the brain. And just like the Human Genome Project, I think we can expect this initiative to be a game changer that stimulates the next generation of scientific development. It's one of the reasons when during this shutdown, did you notice we had a shutdown? Well, during the shutdown, I donated all my salary to the NIH Research Foundation because I think we can't wait. I think we are just around the corner, and the last thing we should be doing is cutting research money to things like mapping the brain. We know the answer won't drop out of the sky. It takes research. It takes dedicated scientists and doctors. It takes months and years of scientific work. That's why I'm fighting to ensure critical research institutions like NIH have the resources they need to continue their important life-saving work, and the institutions that they support, like the University of Minnesota. And as we go into the next few months on the budget, by the way, it matters to everyone in the room, we have to make sure that we are doing things to replace the cuts to things like autism research. And we can do it. We can do long-term reforms. We can close some loopholes. There are ways that we can still continue that downward trend on our debt that we have finally started that is so important, but at the same time, making sure we're making the cuts where we can and not on the backs of autism patients. We still have more to do. That's why organizations like Autism Society of Minnesota are so important. And that's why all of you are there today. Now I want to end with a story. With the holidays coming up, a story about my daughter. She's now in her freshman year of college, but this happened when she was 4. She was in the church nativity play, and she was sitting out with me in the pews, and she didn't want to go up front for the rehearsal, and she was playing the angel. And she had this huge angel costume with these big angel wings, and she wouldn't go up front. And I said, "Why won't you go up front, Abigail?" She says, "Mom, I want to be the donkey." And I looked, and there's these 2 hot teenage boys in this donkey costume. And I said, "Timmy and Joey are the donkey. You can't be the donkey." "Well, I want to be Mary." And I said, Mary is 16 years old. You can't be Mary. You have the coolest part in the play. You get to go out in the end, spread your wings, be the angel. She finally looked at me. She said, Mom, I don't know how to tell them. I don't know how to fly. And I looked at her that day and I said, you know what, honey? Not all angels fly. You are the angels, the guardian angels to all these families and all the people with autism. Many of them will never meet you, but you're gathered today to say, you know what? We want to make sure that employers understand that they have so much to offer in the workplace. We want to make sure that they're not forgotten, that we're going to work for a cure, that we're going to work for better treatments. You are truly giving them the wings to fly. Thank you. Have a great discussion today and keep up the good work.